Great question, and I'm glad you asked it.
Oh!
Okay?
Answer it!
Okay, I am very glad that someone is looking at all of the waste.
How can we be represented by you if you don't have a voice in Congress?
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
You are not a victim, you are a victor, and you will be able to get another job and provide for yourself and your family. I'm confident of that.
We are the hardworking federal employees that make this government run every single day, and we are being discounted by those in Washington.
Guess they weren't buying that fraud and abuse answer. Well, as public anger grows over the slashing the federal government by Elon Musk and Doge, scenes like that are becoming more and more common. So House Republicans are trying to stop the blowback by pulling back on town halls altogether. A Republican aide told NBC News that leaders are urging lawmakers to stop engaging in them altogether to avoid scenes that go viral. In other words, folks, stop talking to your voters about what we are doing to them, period. Just stop. Don't talk about it. Brendan Buck is back with me, and joining us is Jonathan Allen, NBC News senior national politics reporter. Brendan, I've been saying for a while now, the town halls are a refreshing step in the right direction to engage voters into what's happening to them, particularly in these communities where there are more Republicans and they're coming out. They don't need to have a congressman call a town hall meeting. They can organize themselves, create that town hall, and tell the congressman he better show up. How do you think these storylines are affecting the decision-making by congressional Republicans at this point? And will they be able to just shut it down by not showing up?
Well, the reality is that most members of Congress already have shut them down, and long before this. Actually, the thing that my reaction to this, having been around Congress for a long time, is I was surprised that many members were even doing town halls because they are so afraid of moments like this, the viral moment that lasts forever. Also, your average member of Congress just simply doesn't like getting yelled at. And what a lot of them have done is transition to basically conference calls, what they call telephone town halls. Now, I do think at some point this affects the psyche of House Republicans. I'm not saying they're going to start protesting Elon Musk. I think a lot of them are going to claim that this is a bunch of astroturfing and all fake and set up by liberal groups. But at some point, they're going to realize that there is something going on out there, and it is probably reminiscent of what happened 8 years ago when the resistance started. You saw very clearly that there was an energy, and as you know, midterm elections are all about enthusiasm and energy. And if the other side has it, that should be a wake-up call for them. I don't think they're going to learn a lot of lessons. I'm not saying they're going to change what they're doing, but at least this is going to, I think, open their eyes to the fact that people are paying attention to what's going on.
Well, people are paying attention, I think, in large measure, Jonathan, because they're feeling this. This is landing on their doorstep. They got the email, don't come to work tomorrow. Right? I'm sorry. I love this whole play, by the way. So Elon Musk and Donald Trump tells all federal workers, get your lazy behinds back to the office because you're not doing anything at home. So you should drive around the Washington DMV area now to see the traffic of federal workers going back to work, only to be told you're fired. And that speaks a lot to what you've been writing about the absolute chaos that Doge is sowing. You've got this the great piece out where, one official at Veterans Affairs described absolute chaos with Trump political appointees afraid to misstep and incur backlash from either the White House or the public. So how does this work? How does this even pretend to be something that's functional?
Well, can I first just congratulate you and your producers, Tina and Robert, for having Brendan Buck on the show, because Brendan was there in 2010 during the summer, the Tea Party summer, when the town halls, first got really hot. Don't we, Brendan? But there's an important, but this is an important point that Brendan was making just a moment ago. Woe to the House majority that does not pay attention to what's going on in the country and says, this is just AstroTurf, this is just liberal groups, because at the end of the day, there are people out there who are feeling the effects of this. And you talked about the traffic in the Washington metropolitan area with everybody going, having to go to work every day. But 80% of the federal government is outside of the Washington metropolitan area. So there are government workers being fired in these folks' districts. There is a budget moving its way through Congress right now that foresees cutting Medicaid. David Valdeo, California congressman, something like 360,000 of his constituents are on Medicaid or CHIP. So let me just throw that out there that this is going to continue to be a problem for lawmakers. As far as the chaos inside the federal government right now, we talked to government workers. They're like, hey, on Saturday, I got an email and it said, give me 5 bullet points. And then on Sunday, somebody in my leadership said, well, you don't have to respond to that. And then somebody else said, you do have to respond to that. And then there are meetings inside the federal government about whether or not they have to respond to it. In some agencies, there are questions about, do you keep spending money or do you freeze spending money based on what the court said or what the president said? Tens of millions of dollars at least of waste just on that email, given how long people were having discussions about how to respond to it. And then, Musk comes out at the end of it and says, well, no, it was just a pulse check. You just had to reply. I know I spoke to federal workers who thought that they might be fired if they didn't reply, that they might be fired or disciplined if they did reply. And all of that confusion is hampering the functioning of the government right now.
But I think